Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the C3 Friday Free for All, the show for Panthers fans by Panthers fans. We are year round, unless it's Valentine's Day, which is why we were not here last Friday. All the boys had honeys that we had to tend to on Valentine's Day, but we're back to talk Panther football, even when there's seemingly no news. We're going to find something to talk about relating to these Panthers. We have tons of rumors about potential moves to secure our number one wide receiver for Bryce Young. Many people think it's the guy that Dees is proudly sporting in his background today, the man Tee Higgins. But we're also going to talk about potential ways that we can free up more free agency dollars. Do we re-sign Taylor Mouton? Do we just let him play out the final year of his contract? They've released Dane Jackson. So much to talk about on a random Friday in the offseason. But you know I'm going to do it with the C3 Legion. First up, my man, I'm going from left to right today. My man is drinking the Wild Twisted Tea. He's got the Panthers bandana, and he's ready for a free-for-all. It's my brother Jake the Snake wearing that big 30, baby, that Chuba Hubbard. What's up, boy?
What's up, y'all? Oh, I'm ready to enjoy this Friday with y'all every week, except for last week. Hey, I'm single, bro, so I didn't do nothing last week, but hey, I enjoy every week. I get to talk to y'all and talk football every week, man. I'm blessed to talk with y'all, man. Love y'all.
Yeah, sir. Love you too, brother. And you know, it would not be a free-for-all without the brand ambassador himself, These Ill Skills. My brother, how are you on this Friday evening?
Man, I'm doing great. And it's nice to be back. It was good to have a little break from for Valentine's Day. Spent some time with the wifey. We had a nice meal. And I hope everyone's excited and energized about talking some Panthers football tonight. I know I am. There's plenty to talk about. The Legion's been super busy. Of course, the Tuesday night show was fantastic. Good job, Cody. Enjoyed it thoroughly. And we had a warm-up space that is still out there on X if you want to listen to it, if you need more Panthers content. A good hour-long discussion is available. And then we had another space again just last night on Thursday. Very, very good space hosted by C3JJ. And that's on X as well. If you guys are interested in listening to those spaces, just download the X app and then join this C3 community on X. Well, I guess I'm ready to get started. The only other thing I did want to say is I want everyone to know how great Jackson Dart is out of Ole Miss. He is the greatest quarterback of all college football history. And if you're a fan of a different team other than the Panthers, you need to tell your GM that he needs to trade up into the top 7 to draft Jackson Dart. The agenda is real.
Let's roll. If there's ever a time to believe us that Jackson Dart is worth it, it's right here, right now. Let's go trade up to that 8th spot, baby. That's what I think they should do. Next up, listen, we wouldn't be able to do a free-for-all if we didn't have one Panther Pickle threatening to tell somebody to shut the hell up if he encounters some nonsense on a Friday evening. Panther Pickle, how are you, brother?
I'm good, man. Let me tell you what fires me up today.
Uh-oh.
To think that there's a quarterback next year that's better than Jackson Dart. Shut the hell up. Jackson Dart is the best quarterback in this class, next year's class, or even last year's class. There is no better.
It's now or never, damn it.
Don't trade up and get Jackson Dart. You ain't nothing.
Man, let me tell you, you better not pass up on a prospect like our boy Jackson Dart from Ole Miss. Man, that brother slings the pill. And like my man holding it down on the left coast, all the way out in California, my man Alex, 814 Panthers, back on the free-for-all. Alex, how are you, brother?
Hey, happy Friday, Cody. Happy Friday, fellas. Hope you all doing well.
Yes, sir. Happy to have you, man. Welcome back to the free-for-all.
Yeah.
And you already know I got my fellow North Carolinian. He's a Wolfpack fan. I don't hold it against him. But that's my brother Cole, back in the building on the free-for-all. What's up, bro?
Cody, what's going on, my dude?
Big
C3
time chilling,
is
bro.
not only Carolina wide, we are East Coast wide, and obviously with Alex and a few others, we are countrywide and dare I say worldwide with our fans over there that join from time to time. Man, it's a good time to be C3. I love y'all. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Well, listen, I don't know if you can tell, I'm wearing a throwback circa 2010 tap out shirt. Why don't you do me a favor and tap on that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell for every single time the C3 Panthers podcast goes live. Only 26 viewers on a Friday, but you know what? The ones that are here, y'all some real ass fans.
February.
We appreciate
It's all
y'all,
good.
man. You already know, boys, but let's jump into it, man. There are rumors that the Carolina Panthers are essentially looking to cook up an opportunity to get a wide receiver one for Bryce Young. But they've also been making some moves to free up more salary cap dollars. Gentlemen, before we jump into the nitty-gritty of it, my question to all of you is, do you get the feeling like the Panthers are preparing to make a big free agent move, be it offense or defense? Is Dan Morgan and Brant Tillis looking to make a splash for the Panthers this year? It's a free-for-all, damn it. Jump on the shit.
They are. I mean, they're trying to. They're plotting. They're plotting something, Cody. I mean, with the moves we've made, just moving money around. Released Dane Jackson today, as you alluded to earlier. That freed up almost $3.5 million, but we took $1.5 million dead cap. But if they're scraping the bottom of the barrel like that to free up money, they're planning, they're plotting. I don't know exactly what they're planning or plotting, but I've already said on here before, they're gonna have their feelers out on all these deals, even if it's an unrealistic deal. Okay, even if you feel like, well, the Panthers, maybe we shouldn't be in that. They're gonna feel the waters out. They're gonna test it. They're gonna put their toe in there and say, hey, well, maybe we can get in there on this, and they're gonna stretch these dollars out too. And that was the move with Corbett that they made today. Once again, we're stretching dollars out. We're putting Corbs up to the test. Hey, man, what you gonna do? You gonna sign a deal here? Give us a good deal? Give us a team discount? Or are you gonna get on up out the door? What's the plan? And they put the ball in his court for him to make the decision. So, yeah, the Panthers are plotting. They're going to do something, Cody, but I don't know the direction that we're heading. I think it could be either way at this point. I know we're looking at defensive guys, but I bet you we're looking at offensive guys too. We're in on that.
Yeah, well, listen, these NFL players are loving it too with these because in context of this news of the Panthers trying to free up more space to potentially make a big splash, you also have the new numbers coming out for the NFL's 2025 salary cap, which is going to be between $277.5 million to $281.5 million. Last year's salary cap was $255 million. I mean, that's $25 million more dollars the NFL teams are having to work with. That means if you are a Tee Higgins and you're looking to go to a better team, then these teams now have more money to be able to compete and bid on players like this. Knowing that we are going to have a little more money to deal with, I want to say that right now, after the adjusted cap, the Panthers are actually working with, I believe, almost $30 million, so almost $30 million some odd dollars that they're going to be able to spend in free agency, considering some of the cuts and the adjustments that they made today. But that's why, to me, it says that the Carolina Panthers, be it on offense or defense, are looking to make a big-time splash to upgrade this football team. On paper, you think it would be on defense. However, like we've mentioned before, this is a very important year for Bryce Young. So who else thinks that this signals a greater move getting ready to be made?
I do. The main reason why I do is because of Bryce Young. This is going into his year 3. I think the most important year so far. I mean, I think that's for like a lot of quarterbacks. Year 3 is the year that you go all in, basically. Whether it's for your offense, your defense. I mean, you still got him on a rookie deal. You still got 2 years left, but you still want to, whatever you got, you want to go all in. And I think there's going to be more moves on defense than I do offense, free agency wise. But yeah, we're definitely going to be doing something, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. I think we're going to do something. I think we're going to be active, although I'm not certain we're going to go after top level guys from both offense and defense, but I do feel that we're going to be some active. I know Dan Morgan said he said for a fact he was going to help out and work on the defense this year. I believe that. I believe we're going to target some offensive guys out there, but I do not believe it's going to be the top level receiver that or tight end that some folks are wanting. But if it is, that's good too. But I do believe that we're going to go after mainly defensive guys at D line, edge rusher, safety, and maybe corner.
Yeah, I'm with Pickle on that. I'm with Pickle. I think we're gonna go mainly defense. I don't see us getting the big fish in Tee Higgins, but if it does happen, I mean, more power to us. But I really think the focus should be on the defense, and I think that's where Dan Morgan's gonna go.
Yeah, all good points. And there's, so let me key into some of the context of these moves, right? So the Panthers have pushed back Austin Corbett and his void deadline on his contract to March 11th. The pushback gives Carolina and Corbett more time to negotiate a new deal. While it doesn't guarantee anything, a new deal could also help save the Panthers cap space before the new league year, so something worth monitoring. And I'll also say this, and this is sort of a throwaway here, but I'm sort of the belief that the Panthers probably do want Corbett back for another year to see if he can play center and stay healthy for another year. When he was out there, they were dominant in the middle. I have reason to believe that they would want to continue that, especially with the success they had running the ball. But the Panthers also released Dane Jackson that freed up $3.35 million in cap space for the Carolina Panthers. The move leaves behind $2.5 million of dead cap, including $1 million of fully guaranteed salary cap. So you see them starting to make moves and build towards something. My question is, how big of a splash are they looking to make? Is this a Myles Garrett? Is this a Tee Higgins? Or, do we need to sort of temper our expectations as to what type of player this is going to be? We're going to pick on down, introduce some more people.
Personally, I believe folks need to temper their expectations on a wide receiver. But people don't listen to me, and that's fine. If you want to be hardcore, we're going to get Tee Higgins, then go ahead and be that way. And if it don't happen, you're going to hear Panther Pickles say, I told you so. Likewise, if it happens, you can tell me you told me so. Nonetheless, the Austin Corbett deal was real clear. If they don't come to agreement with Austin Corbett and he walks away in free agency, now this extension is till the 11th. He can start his team. His agent can start talking to other teams at midnight on the 12th. So you got 11:59 on the 11th of March, and at 1 minute later, they can start talking to other players, other teams. Now that being said, next year we still have a $7.7 million cap hit for Austin Corbett because of those board years. So if you sign Austin Corbett to a $4 million deal and a 1 year $4 million deal, you're actually saving cap just by playing him when he's getting paid. Now, that being said, I personally believe that they're not looking to bench Cade Mays. I think they're looking to have an honest competition. And I believe Dave Canales will give you that honest competition. I believe at this stage in their careers, Cade Mays is a better center than Austin Corbett.
And I'd have to agree with you, mainly because of health.
Yeah, I do not believe Austin Corbett is recovered. I do not believe he's as quick and as limber as he was before. But go ahead.
Now, I agree with you completely, but I do like they're trying to work something out with Corbett, because if you're going to pay the man, I'd rather just have him play for us.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right.
I mean, I'm okay with giving him $3-4 million because he's already going to be getting paid. Just add that to it. I mean, why would he say no? I mean, he's coming off of 2 career season injuries. I don't know if it's back-to-back years, but
he's pretty much said as much. Jake, I mean, he said that he knows the reality of him being injured, and he knows that he isn't going to command something crazy. So if he's willing to come back for something convenient, yeah, why not do that deal? I think you could do a lot worse than Austin Corbett at this time right now. But dude, this defensive backfield is also more and more of a question mark. You release Dane Jackson, but you also have a decision to make on Mike Jackson. JC Horn still needs to be paid. There's a lot of question marks in this defensive backfield, to the point where many pundits and analysts think that the Panthers could go defensive back at the 8th overall pick. The corner out of Michigan has been getting a lot of buzz also. But let me welcome some more people in here. We got Chuck back on the free-for-all. Chuck, how are you, man?
Good, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all.
Happy Friday, bro.
That's relaxing on this Friday, cold Friday, snowing.
Yes, sir.
It stops snowing, sunny. It's crazy out here, so.
Absolutely, man. So let me ask you this, Chuck. Do you think the Panthers, in these moves that they have made to free up some money, do you feel like they're trying to make a big free agent splash, or are they trying to make potentially multiple signings of skipping a couple rocks on the pond? How do you feel?
I think it's skipping a couple of rocks across the pond, but they're trying to hit a boulder with those rocks. I feel like it's a sense where Dan told you a straight up shooter. He just tells you like, hey, I wanted to spend money on the offense so we can see what we could do that last offseason. This offseason now, I think it's going to be really set on the defense. And I really feel like it's going to surprise some folks. I think they're going to draft offense. It's going to be on the 8th position, number 8 position, or a cornerback to match with JC Horn. I just feel like in the sense where this 8th pick is not going to be, it's really going to be determined on free agency, and this is where it starts. So I really feel like the defense is going to be it's going to be a really defensive free agency.
No, I think so too.
I'm with that.
They have
I'm
to.
gonna be really honest. I'm with
that.
Yeah,
go ahead, Cole.
No, I'm just wondering. I don't have much to say about it. Because Chuck just said everything I wanted to say. I'm right there with him. I'm with all that shit he just said. Like if the best player available is an offensive player, you ain't got to draft a damn defensive player, because everything you're gonna need, you can get this draft. I feel like if you do the shit right. So the best player there, the 8 is an offensive player. Go get his ass.
Hey, and honestly, and one more. I'm not gonna say anything more. If they get everything in free agency and defense, and they happen to get an offensive tackle, I'm still not mad at them. Strength in their strength.
Chuck, that's a faster way to fix the defense, is just buy one.
That's the one thing the Cowboys have always done. Say what you will about the Cowboys, but the way they have treated the offensive line, they're adding every single year. Every year they add to the offensive line.
And to say, and one more, I'm sorry. If the one more thing you said, hey, you can't buy the defense. Look what Washington did. Washington was horrible last year, and they just got respectable. All they did is buy people and got respectable. That's all they did. And
now people want to play for them.
Yes.
No, 100%. And now remember when the Los Angeles Rams won their Super Bowl? I mean, that's basically what they did. They went out and purchased a defense. They sort of set the trend of what you can do in free agency. They went out and got Stafford. They got Von Miller. They got Jalen Ramsey. You know what I mean? Like they went out and bought a championship defense. And when you look at what Philadelphia has been able to do through the draft and free agency, it's like, the offense gets all the views and all the publicity. But, dude, the song remains the same. Defense wins championships.
And I know this was a joke online, but if I was the Panthers, and I really would consider this, I know this is a joke, you should bring Marty Hurney as a first-round consultant. I'm not kidding with
No,
you.
I
I'm
hear
not
you.
kidding. I am not kidding.
I hear you. No, you're not
That's
wrong.
not something. Be innovative.
Scout the first round and take your ass home, Marty.
Yeah.
Don't let him pick after first round, though. Don't do that.
As soon as he turns the card and he's out
Just
the
let
building,
Marty
bro.
say, "Hey, what would you do on the first round pick?" And just take his advice, and then let him be. Pay him a fee.
No. Let's not even involve Marty in the cup. Don't let him in the building.
That's how I was.
Don't let him in the
Don't let him anywhere.
Don't even let him in the state.
He don't miss in the first round. He don't miss.
Well,
I'm not letting him nowhere near the
Yeah,
base.
he does. Yeah, he does. Sometimes he misses the first round completely.
Hey, he misses.
Remember,
he misses the second through seventh.
Okay, now, Alex.
He was pretty good in the first round.
He was pretty good.
He was pretty good in the first round, though.
Let me finish. Hey, let me finish.
It was Vernon Butler
Traded
on
a
him, though.
first round pick for Everett
That was
Brown.
relevant.
No, I know that's trash. That's trash.
No, that was Marty Herney. Traded a first round pick
No, I was
to move up
Sorry
in the
as
second
hell, Everett
round
Brown.
and get Everett Brown. That's a fact.
Right. It does have
Pickle
more
hit y'all with that one. That
It
is a
does
dirty
have more
low blow,
hits
Pickle.
in the first round
Jesus.
than it does misses.
Pickle
That
went
was-
for the
and by
third
the way, I
because
was
he
never a fan of Marty Herney, but
He also
No,
drafted
listen, I
Jeff
think-
Otah. How
about this? I don't want no one else making the pick.
But he
on-
also drafted Jonathan
and-
Stewart.
I want
let
to
me ask
know
you something.
who Dan Morgan thinks is the biggest team of need, or what's the biggest position of need.
I don't
Go
know
ahead,
that
Pickle,
he
let me,
drafts the biggest
introduce.
need. I really don't, because here's something we have to remember. There was a time, and I'll use an example. There was a draft class when we came out. We had need a tackle. We had need a corner. We had need at some wide receiver, some offensive lineman. And it was the first pick, we took a linebacker, and everybody, including me and Cole, screamed it was a bad decision. Who the fuck is this guy? We didn't.
I remember where I was when that shit happened. I was so mad.
We
Pickle.
re-signed two of them and signed a free agent. But anyway, we were loaded up at linebacker. We didn't need him, but we drafted him because he was the best player available, and he was the best linebacker this team's ever had.
Yep.
Never forget that. So
Pickle, was Derrick Henry in that class?
No, Derrick Henry was in.
I had somebody I really, really wanted in that draft, and I remember being so mad.
Yeah, I wanted the tackle that went to the Eagles. But they got this guy named Luke Kuechly, and I went, Luke Kuechly who? Who the fuck is this Hawaiian bastard?
I was like, Boston College.
He said Hawaii.
That's exactly what I said. I didn't know who
No,
it
it was
was.
Hawaiian.
I'll be honest
Boston
with you.
College.
When
Then
I
I
saw Luke-
then I actually saw who he was, and I read up on him. I thought, oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah,
Well,
fine.
also,
I had
Pickle,
my
well,
opinion
let me-
changed for the draft. Was
let me
that.
add on
when
to
I
it,
saw
Pickle.
Luke
There were
Kuechly at
also,
Boston College. I was like, this guy tackles everyone.
Yeah.
but
That's what
also
I saw.
remember though, even when Luke was drafted, the importance of the inside linebacker had already started to diminish in terms of how highly they were drafted. And instead of those old years where you were depending on stopping the run in a more pass-heavy league, you were rushing the passer more. So if you were a linebacker, it was more beneficial for you to get drafted in the top 10 if you were a pass rusher, like say Von Miller was. Well, when Luke Kuechly was drafted, that was an off-ball linebacker in the top 10, and we already had John Beeson. So a lot of Panther fans were like, what the fuck are we doing,
Exactly.
dude?
Yes.
But then it,
Beeson was
and it
strong.
turned
I was
out
like, what are
to be-
y'all doing?
Yeah, the best linebacker that we could have ever asked for.
And he should be in the Hall of Fame right now. I'm gonna say it
Should
right
be
now.
in the Hall of
Absolutely
Fame, damn
got
it.
snubbed.
Hall
Yeah,
of
but
Famer.
Right.
First
The one
ballot.
thing,
No
the one thing
contest.
about the one thing that we have to remember, the one thing that made Luke great is that man refused when he was a rookie and on through probably 3 or 4 years, or no, it was 5 years into his pro career. He didn't own a TV set. Y'all think about that.
That's
He
wild.
didn't
he
own a
was
TV
pissed.
set.
That's
He
putting your
didn't own a
life to the
computer.
game, bro.
All he owned, well, he did own a computer. The company give him a computer or
Didn't
something
have no cable.
just so.
Didn't
Yeah,
have nothing.
no. No, just so he
football,
can study.
bro.
He studied film or slept and worked out. That's all you ever did.
All right, hey, let me welcome someone into the show, man. We got Anthony back on the free for all. Ant, what's up, boy? How you living, bro?
What's up? Can you hear me?
One more time. You sounded like you were in a can or something. Say it again.
Can you hear me?
Not really. You sound like you're under a pillow, bro.
You in the bathroom?
AirPods are like broke as shit. All right,
now you're good now. You're good now.
You clean.
Yeah, they're sort of in and out.
Yeah. Can you hold on? Can you hear me right here?
Yeah, that's
very
perfect.
good.
Yeah. What's up, boys? How y'all doing?
What's up, brother? My question to you, man, is and listen, I know you've been on this for a while, man. You and your boy, I don't know his last name, Alex something or another. I've been going back and forth on the potential of getting Tee Higgins, but just in general, do you feel like the Panthers are getting ready to try to make a splash in free agency?
Oh, sorry. This thing is. Hold on. Give me a minute. Let me take.
Yeah,
these off.
you're cool. Cole, did you want to get in here while Anthony was fixing this stuff?
Ask me the question one more time.
Man, you know Cole's losing whatever he's playing, man.
I'm off 34-30 if you want to be really real.
He watched them highlights.
Hey, the bad part is I'm playing NBA because I'm not pressing as many buttons as I do football.
Yeah, no, I mean, but, you know.
Well, if no one's talking about it, I still feel like it's a travesty that Luke Kuechly's not in the Hall of Fame. I still feel like it's
1,000
unfair.
He should have been first ballot. And I mean, the whole argument that I've heard is he didn't play enough years. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear that he didn't play enough
That
years.
shouldn't mean anything.
That dude put up numbers that still people ain't broke. That's played 5+ years over him.
It is utterly bullshit that he's not a first ballot. He didn't have a year that he wasn't honored something.
No,
he didn't have a year that he wasn't honored something. Utterly bullshit.
That's wild.
He has better
we'll never
stats.
have another player
he
like
has
that.
better stats than Brian Urlacher. Bullshit.
He did.
Definitely did.
No, I'm very impartial. I think him and Ray Lewis, at least in my lifetime, those are the greatest inside linebackers I've ever seen.
I agree. Him and Ray Lewis.
Zach Thomas is underrated and deserves to be higher than he is. I will say that.
Hey, Cody, can you hear me better now?
Oh,
yeah. Way better. All right. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, what's up, boys?
Yeah, do you think the Panthers are looking to make a real big splash on the offense or defensive side of the football?
Hell yeah, I do. Yeah. So we got a video coming out. I'm doing this video with Alex, and we're going to explain to the whole Panther Nation what's really going on here, because I think people just don't understand how well we're set up over these next 3 years with the cap situation. And you see Robert Hunt recruiting online. You see Sheena posting cryptic tweets. I think this is going to be a big off season, and I think fans aren't ready for it. You got a year 3 quarterback on a rookie contract. You look at the algorithm of how teams do things around the league when you got that year 3 quarterback. It's like, all right, year 1's year 1. Year 2, it's like you got to show me by the end of year 2 if you're the guy, if you can be the guy or not. And Bryce obviously showed us that he has the ability. And year 3 is when you go out and you potentially get number 1 wide receiver to elevate his game. Now, I know everyone's worried, we're not going to address the defense, but this is ultimately where the cap comes in. There's going to be several moves here shortly in the next 2.5 weeks where we're going to have a lot of cap space, man. They can do some soft restructures. They're going to extend guys. There's obviously cut candidates like Miles Sanders will be out of here. I don't know about Shy Tuttle. I think he's going to stay because I think he has some guaranteed money left. But for me,
cut Shy Tuttle.
Yeah, for me, I'm looking at Javon Holland from the Dolphins. I think he's gonna come down here. I really do.
That would be sweet.
I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, like I've kind of toyed with this idea. Do I want to sign big name guys that like don't even fit Evero's? Like, are we willing to just suck it up one more year?
Anthony, you shouldn't be worried about that. Anthony,
yes.
You do that.
I'm not worried about it.
You set it up for the next man if you have to.
That's the main reason, and that's the main reason why I'm so high on Nick Moton, because I know he don't fit a 3-4, but he's so young that I think he can learn a 3-4 system. And not only that, everyone's not going to be here next year anyway. So, or after next year.
And I would say
no
this.
chance.
I would say this. If I know he's not listening, David Tepper, let the 3-4 go.
Please.
Let the 3-4 go.
So,
I know he has one
please.
technical. He says he's all off. I think it's just that 3-4. He wants that 3-4. That's the one thing he can't let go. That's what I'm feeling like, because there's no reason why everyone's not fired.
Yeah, like Steven. Oh, go ahead, Cody.
No, I'm saying right now, this is so
we have 29.
After re-signing JJ Jansen and Andy Dalton, the increase in overall team cap space is $25 million. I believe after today, this is maybe this is
30.
Yeah, we're around $30 million. But as Stephen Bailey says in the chat, Patriots have 118 million, Raiders have 99 million. We're down the road with our measly 30 million, and we're priced out of big names. We will get some good journeymen. However, do we need to temper our expectations?
No.
But I guess my question is, Anthony, what are we going to be able to do to differentiate ourselves and our offers from other teams with deeper pockets?
Well, Cody, I will say this though. I'm sorry if I want to actually agree with Ant. The Patriots are too early in if Drake May is the guy yet. They need to get offensive linemen before they get worried about any wide receivers at all. I know they have the money, but they're not in that stage where Ant was saying about the stage about quarterback 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year. They're too early.
Yeah, but they said that about Joe Burrow too when they took Jamar Chase over Penei Sewell.
But that's a whole different situation though. Like I think they could potentially draft like Tet McMillan if he's there. But when you talk about free agent wide receivers, I think they're going to spend that money on O-line. But like, listen, there's a video. Listen, I'm gonna ask like Panthers fans to check out this video tomorrow because we're breaking it all down, man. Like we had no cap space last year, and we signed a bunch of high valued players. And look at our cap number 26, 27. Obviously, you're going to have to extend players, but extending players helps your cap. And we don't have any dead cap. We have like 3 million dead cap this offseason. We had like in the Scott Fitter era, we had like 70 million every season. And it was because he was taking on the Sam Darnold 5th year option. You traded CMC after you gave him the guaranteed money. You traded DJ after you gave him the guaranteed money. Like you had Baker's salary. I think we were paying Baker's we were paying like half of that 5th year option.
Who was paying Robbie Anderson?
Yeah, so like I know fans are like already down on this, but I'm telling you, they're gonna make moves. I'm not worried at all. I've seen this. I see the light in the tunnel. Like fans are gonna be surprised. But yeah, it's us Patriots and the Commanders are probably the most set up teams for the next 3 years in terms of cap space.
Hey, so Anthony, Panther Gal is wondering where she can hear this video breakdown coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's on it's on Alex's channel. He'll post it. We're just gonna go live. We're gonna record it for like an hour, and I'll share it around on Twitter. But it seems like people are starting to like listen to what we're having to say here. He kind of taught me all this. Like I've always been one of you guys like in the chat, like, oh, we never had cap space, we never had this, and that's because Scott Fitter wasn't building from a year-to-year basis. He was all setting it up for after, like we just took the dead cap money on the chin every single year. And like, that's why we were in the situation we were. But listen, guys, I mean, I know from trusted people I've talked to personally, like the Panthers are heavily pursuing a wide receiver 1, and there's a good chance. I mean, follow the tea leaves. Every mock draft has us taken an edge in the first round. And from the formula the data that I've collected and gone over, every time a team gets a wide receiver 1 in free agency of the year 3 algorithm, they always take an edge in the first round. So I'm just telling you what I'm seeing here from the data. Now, I could be completely off, but ultimately it's in Dan's hands. He's going to have the money to sign some players that he wants, and it's all about convincing them to come here. And you love to see it when Robert Hunt's out here recruiting. Like, I'm telling you, if players believe in the quarterback you have that's leading your team every single week, players are going to come here.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah, and we've already seen Garrett Wilson public affectuation for Bryce Young. So, like, players clearly believe in the guy. So, in my opinion, I think we're set up a little better than most Panthers fans think, and I think everyone's going to be surprised here.
Well, and can I ask you a question?
And we're not going to get every free agent, obviously. Like,
yeah,
we're not going to get every free agent. It's impossible. But we're going to get some good free agents. So.
I agree.
Well, and let me ask you a question. Now, you look at the 24. Once we do all those moves, are we going to be in the Patriots stratosphere or the Raiders stratosphere in the top 10 salary cap teams, or are we just going to be?
So what I learned about salary cap is it's not really how much you have this year, it's how much you have next year. So with my estimations, we're probably going to be around like 70 mil this year, but you look at next year and there's like 150. So like you can just push that into next year. And even if it gets lowered next year, you still have a lot next year too, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is in past years, when we go into an offseason, we had like $5 million in cap space. Fitter would make some moves to get it to like 20, but then you look at the following year, and I guess we just like as fans, we just didn't pay attention to this stuff because I didn't pay attention to this stuff at all.
Me too.
But like going into that following year, even after he made restructures and stuff, the following year we don't have shit. So we were kind of in a hole, if you get what I'm saying. Like you got to think about this year's cap space is like a 3-year cap space maneuver is what we got going on. So there's going to be no issues. And then there's also like, I don't know if you guys are following what I'm trying to say here, but like I'm trying to explain it in a certain way. There's like the way you structure the first year, like if like Robert Hunt's cap hit when we signed him wasn't much the first year. So like it didn't affect the cap we had last year since we didn't really have that much.
They're backloading it. They're backloading it so it doesn't affect us right now. It gives us more of an opportunity to build instead of eating a ton of dollars right now.
Yeah. That's
100%.
That's the main reason why
I do. It's like Robert Hunt's, like I said, Robert Hunt first year, even Damian Lewis, a lot of them, their first years wasn't all that much, but it builds up. But they're sort of backloaded, but at the same time, it's not terrible because it also gives them a release. If they're not a good free agent, Dane Jackson, for example, wasn't a good free agent, so we released him at a point where we didn't owe him anything, and we actually got $4 million to the good, and not hardly anything to the bad.
But then, what the hell was Fitterer doing? As opposed to
Fitterer would follow. I'm sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
No, we're probably going to say the same thing. Fitter was just trying to build a 1-year roster every year. So when he made all these dumb trades, like most of these players had, he made tons of dumb decisions. Like the Sam Darnold 5th-year option killed us, right? You pay DJ Moore and then you ship him off next year. That's a shit ton of dead cap. You pay Christian McCaffrey, you ship him off next year. That's a shit ton of dead cap. There is none of that here.
So you mean
hold on. Marty Hurney used to do stuff like that all the time. Only difference is he would pay an older guy like near retirement a big bunch of money the first year, and then if you still owed him the second year a lot of money, but they would up and retire or can't play or something, and we'd cut him, and then we'd sleep out dead cap. That's exactly it.
So you mean to tell me not only that we got effed when we traded DJ Moore for not that much and Christian McCaffrey, we got pretty much screwed both times with our cap and losing the production.
Who was the money guy for us during Scott? Was it Solomon or how do you say his name?
Yes.
That dude was horrible. Yes. Horrible.
Yeah, he came, and to be honest with you, I don't know if all of you remember that before Tepper come here, the Steelers used to be hell in cap. I mean, deep in doo-doo cap for years. That's who controlled their cap. When Tepper came here, the first thing he did is bring Samir Suleiman here. And for him to fire Samir Suleiman, to me, not hyping him up, just says there's a growth there. That was the beginning of the growth of Tepper saying, okay, I'm fucking this up. And Anyway, so that being going said, back on Cap, Suleiman came from the Steelers. He fucked him over. They were very glad to see him go, because when his contract ran out, they told him, no, we're not hiring you, and Tepper did. So
yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask y'all this too. This was some big news that happened. Some people were arguing if this was the right time to even do it, or was it just a sensible move made to free up more dollars. Andy Dalton signed a 2-year contract to come back to the Carolina Panthers. Some people felt like it was a waste of money. Some people felt like it was a good deal for the locker room. Where do you guys sign on bringing Andy Dalton back after that entire roller coaster ride that he's been on the last 2 years with Carolina? And this is for anyone who wants to jump in on it, man. It's a free-for-all.
For me personally, Cody, I was shocked. That was my initial response. I was like, wow, I cannot believe they brought back Dalton, because it was like he was a Frank Wright guy.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, Dave Canales, this is his first time as a head coach. He's renowned around the NFL for reviving these quarterbacks' careers. He's the QB whisperer, all this talk, right? And I'm like, well, now is finally Dave Canales' chance or opportunity to go out there and gets the guy that he wants to rehabilitate. Not that he would be the starter for the Panthers, don't get me wrong, but it would just be Dave Canales' guy. It'd be the guy that he wanted in the film room. It would be the guy that he wanted to back up Bryce. It'd be the guy that he had some traits that he liked. I just thought it was going to be more interesting. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't just think, oh, well, let's run back to Red Duck Rifle. I didn't think it was going to be that at all. I thought, even maybe him taking Plummer and saying, okay, well, Plummer's my guy. Plummer's a guy I believe in, and we're gonna elevate him and move on from Dalton. But none of those things happened. They just decided to run it back with Dalton, and the continuity of it, I guess is what it's all about. But it totally shocked me. I didn't see him coming back to Carolina, but here we are.
Am I wrong for thinking this was a Bryce Young move, really? Because I think, this is a guy that. This is a guy that helped Bryce Young. Bryce Young said it. He helped him when he was his lowest. Yeah, Andy Dalton helped him.
No. There's an article, like Schefter literally said that they have a close relationship. Yeah. And like on top of that, I mentioned this the other day. Bryce, I called in to the show about this. Bryce Young openly admitted that Dan Morgan and him have a close relationship. And it seems like Dan's, he's gotten Dan's trust, so he's going to be in on these conversations for the type of players and things they're looking at.
That's a good thing. I'm all for that. All for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But no, Andy Dalton can barely play anymore.
I don't. If I can say this, I don't think this ends the conference. I'm gonna be clear about this. I think Andy may not enter the regular season as your number 2. Now, I don't know where that other one comes from. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just not 100% certain that Andy Dalton enters this season as the number 2. He may, but don't be surprised, even if he's number 2 and Bryce goes down for more than a game, that you find the third quarterback comes in at some point. Yeah. I think I know that when they elevated Plummer last year, it was because 2 teams were looking to pull Plummer off our practice squad. 2 different teams. The Panthers didn't allow that to happen. They wanted to keep Plummer here for a reason. So I'm wondering if re-signing Andy was more about helping Bryce and Plummer.
Yep.
So maybe they have a plan to where they're going to keep Andy for a year or 2 and let's see what happens. Does it involve Plummer? We don't know that going into the future. We don't know that maybe there's a quarterback at some point in this draft we don't draft. We don't know none of this. We do know that Andy has a certain leadership and a lot of experience, and he freely shares that. Not all older quarterbacks do that. Plus, he loves the area. His family. He said it on XM radio. In a little interview that I missed most of on XM radio after he resigned, he said, my family cried when they thought we were leaving Charlotte. they didn't want to leave Charlotte. He said, I'll probably be in Charlotte for as long as I live. Because my family loves it here.
It's funny, Pickle. A lot of these dudes who come from bigger markets, they end up coming to Carolina, and they don't want to leave, man. They want to be here. They like the environment. And this is one of the reasons why I always balk at the fact that Carolina, because of the size of its market, can't ever be a big-time free agent destination. In my mind, it's like bullshit, man. Once we implement that winning culture, we are going to have not only dudes that want to come here, but that want to build their infrastructure here,
right?
That want to be a part of long-term plan.
You are exactly right. Because when I was in school, right, I was in the school bus, and they pointed out, hey, that's an NFL star's house. So whose house is that? Randy Moss. I'm like, no, that's not Randy Moss's house. Who comes out of the door going to school? It's Theodore Moss, his son. So people want to move here. People want to live here. They don't find out until they really get this known environment. So that's
Randy Moss does a lot of bass fishing here. He loves bass fishing.
If I may say real quick, and then I'll shut up about this. I think when you look at what Andy Dalton gets paid, think of it this way: we're paying him for more off the field than we're paying him for on the field.
Like an offensive coordinator, a QB coach.
We're paying him for his brain. We're paying him because he helped Bryce understand when Bryce was benched why he was benched.
Yeah.
He helped him understand that. Like I said, it's veteran leadership. Andy is older than your quarterback's coach, folks.
He's not wrong.
I mean, he is. Wrong. Okay, he has more knowledge in his head than the quarterback's coach does. Okay, so let's understand this. He knows a lot of it may have to do with film watching and scouting defenses.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the reason is, Andy is helping this team more off the field than on the field. And that's what we're paying for.
And that's
We've
why
often said we need leaders. We need folks to teach the leaders, to teach the young kids how to be leaders. That's what we're doing.
Hey, real quick, let me even shout out to Caleb Zio, Panthers Podcast. He's in the chat. It says appreciate y'all making the Cap talking point. Love the show. Y'all are cooking tonight. Keep having Anthony on. Dude is sharp. Bro, we know it. That's C3 Anthony, bro. We cut his teeth over here, brother. Yeah, but we appreciate him. Y'all check out Katie Zio check out Alex and the content that he's producing.
Appreciate you, brother.
Over here at C3, we believe the rising tide lifts all boats. And
amen.
And creators should support other content creators, man. So y'all check out Katie Zio. And if you want to come on, Alex, the link is pinned to the top of the chat room if you want to come on and rap with us, bro. But Andy Dalton being on this team, I think is good for Bryce. I think it's good for the coaching staff, knowing they have someone that they can call upon in a pinch. And also what Pickle said too, the fact that his family wanted to be here in Charlotte and how mature he was throughout the entirety of that process last year. You know, we give Bryce Young a lot of credit for how he handled being benched and then having these weird circumstances that saw him being the starting quarterback again. But also look at it from Andy's perspective. Sat behind Bryce, not only for the start of this year, but last year also. Sat behind Bryce, waited his turn, came in, and he played decent to start until things just sort of collapsed around him. And, you know, he was a sport through that whole thing of being in a car accident and still being there for Bryce and being a mentor to the younger guys on the team. Andy Dalton was a great presence on this team. So I think because of how mature he was and how he handled that situation, this is the Carolina Panthers not only shoring up their quarterback room, but also rewarding him for being locked in throughout the entirety of the time that he's been here too.
I'll be honest with you. I told y'all in the Legion chat when I first heard about Andy Dalton, I was like, I mean, I was kind of hoping he was going to go down the road. I'm not going to lie. And the main reason why I say that is because if Bryce Young ever got hurt, God forbid, or something, Andy Dalton after the Raiders game last season, he didn't look good at all. At all. He did not look good at all. And I was kind of hoping we're going to sign a decent backup. But, I mean, I'm okay with Andy Dalton now because I, sat back, thought about it. I'm like, hey, this is a guy that Bryce Young loves. He picks his brains every game of, game plans with Andy Dalton. I always ask him about this and that. Andy Dalton's been in the playoffs multiple times. And, I mean, that's just a great guy to have in the locker room. And that's the main reason why I'm all for it. But I'm not going to sit back and say that, I was 100% bought in oh, my God, this excellent signing. I mean, I wasn't going down that route. But, I mean, it's not a bad signing. It helps Bryce Young. That quarterback room is going to be still intact. Hey, he's another quarterback coach. You got two quarterbacks coach, basically. I mean.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%, man. He's a coach on the field. Like we said earlier, the dude is just he's great for Bryce. He's great for this for the team, for the camaraderie. Panther Pickle, you still with me? I don't know if Pickle is by the.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, man. All right. So I want
to say something real quick, Cody.
Yeah, go ahead. And
yeah. I somewhat agree with Pickle when it comes to we signed Andy Dalton, because of his off the field, for all of that, for Bryce and everything. I personally think someone like Andy Dalton is just he's a serviceable backup. I mean, you don't expect him, you don't want him playing 8 to 12 games, but if Bryce were to get hurt for a game or two, I'm okay with Andy Dalton coming out there. I mean, I don't see the issue with that. But yeah, he got signed because of just his locker room presence.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Yeah, no doubt. Cole, did you ever tell me what you thought of Andy Dalton being back?
I mean, it's more of a rah-rah coaching mentorship type move instead of him just actually going out there on the field. So I really wasn't moved any way or another. So I didn't really care too much, Cody. But I'm with Pickle, though. I don't think the shit's over. I think there's going to be a third head in there, especially when camp comes around. There'll be an open competition for the backup spot. And if Andy loses it, so be it. He'll hold the clipboard regardless.
Yeah, he will. He definitely will. I mean, go ahead, Dave.
What was it 3 years ago, Jake, when we had Baker Mayfield with a high ankle sprain and we had Sam Darnold out with a high ankle sprain? I mean, that's not like a serious injury, but you're out 6 weeks. What happens if Bryce Young goes down with the high ankle sprain? It's not like I just feel like maybe we'll regret this decision if we see 6 games from Andy Dalton next season, because those types of things happen all the time.
That's my point. I agree 100% what you just said. That's what I'm worried about. If it's just 1 or 2 games, I'm all fine. I'm fine with Andy Dalton. 1 or 2 games, perfectly fine with that. But if you're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, multiple more games than that, I'm worried. Because like I said, last season after that Raiders game, it plummeted. It was started looking. I mean, at times it looked worse than Bryce Young his rookie season.
Yeah,
throwing double coverage and stuff. Yeah, I'm not with that.
I mean, let's just hope. I mean, Bryce has been sturdy for 2 years. That was one thing that a lot of people talked about was oh, he's small. That he's gonna get. I mean, and he's gotten hit.
He got walloped. Yeah,
he's gotten walloped, bro. So I mean, to me, I mean, he's gotten hit and injuries do happen. But I mean, from what I've seen the last couple of years, I mean, Bryce has been pretty sturdy. So let's just hope that he doesn't get hurt. Yeah. Obviously.
But I agree with Pickle and I think there's going to be. I don't think Andy Dalton's going to be he's going to be on a roster. He's going to be a part of the quarterback room. But I just don't know if he's going to be the backup. I think they're going to have somebody that's going to move up to that number 2 position because I'm just not comfortable with Andy Dalton if something really bad happens and he has to start from multiple games.
I mean, but that's a lot of money to be paying Dalton if you intend for Jake Plummer to be the guy, the guy that you're preparing to be your long-term backup.
That's true. I don't know. That money that Andy Dalton. I don't think it's that. It's jump out you. I could still think he could be the 3rd quarterback with the money he's getting. He ain't gonna care.
Well, isn't the incentive to get he has up to $10 million. So what's the incentives for that? Is that him playing a certain amount of games? Like, I don't know the contract. But
yeah, I don't know the bonus. Like, I don't know what he has to get extra money or nothing like that either. I don't know.
Yeah, it just says max value of 10 mil. I mean, 2 years, 8, and he's getting 6 guaranteed. So, I mean, and upwards of 10 mil. So, I mean, like, I'm sure if he does have to get out there and be serviceable, I think he could do it. And I don't see him. I really don't personally see him as a third string quarterback. I see him as the backup to Bryce. I think they do bring in somebody, but I don't see them honestly being out. I'd be shocked if they beat out Dalton, and then Dalton's just sitting there.
Yeah. Hey, man, shout out to our boy Kyle Sports One. He's been a member for 29 months. He says, y'all are killing it. Much love from Wilmington, boys. Much love.
Shout out to the coach, Kyle.
Yeah, man.
Y'all don't forget, there is a chance, whether people like it or not, they could draft a quarterback in the later rounds. Remember, Dan could take them 3 and 2 4s and 3 5s and start trading back in the late rounds somewhere and have 3 or 4 picks in the 6th and 7th rounds and pick up a quarterback that people's going to say, what's he still doing on that board? There's a possibility of it.
Pickle, I thought
you call that in case shit, Pickle.
Pickle, I thought we were getting Jackson Dart at 8, right?
Dude, let me tell you what. If they get Jackson Dart at 8,
it's over with for all of us.
Cody is going to be on. We're going to do an emergency podcast.
He's breaking down a field.
Shit's going to hit the fan. Now, Cody knows
going to break that
shit will hit the fan, and it will be a podcaster's delight.
Chaos, boys. Chaos.
That's kind of how I feel about Genty.
Chaos.
Hey, I'm the same way with Genty.
To be truthful, the Raiders would be very smart to draft Jackson Dart.
Dude, he has a badass name for a quarterback. I'll tell you that.
He's not a bad quarterback.
That sounds like some 90s fucking shit.
I know it sounds like the dude, like the main character of a fucking 80s.
He definitely wears a Letterman jacket type shit.
Yeah,
dude. A dart on his Letterman jacket. I can see it now, bro. That's wild.
Dude, that guy kicks ass and chews bubble gum, and he's all out of bubble gum. That's
he's like smoking a dart on the sideline.
Yeah, man. But Pickle, I wanted to bring this up because you've been the champion of talking about. I feel like this specific issue. Dave Newton says something to keep an eye on. Panthers will need to restructure the contract of Taylor Mouton if they plan to keep him. He currently has a cap hit of $31 million and change. Should they release instead of restructure, they would save $17.7 million with a post June 1st designation.
Let me. I was entitled with that earlier on. I've since changed my mind. But here's my solution here. If they're considering releasing him would be a mistake, they could trade him and actually get something out of him other than releasing him and save the same amount of cap. Number 2 is they would have to go get another right tackle.
Can you bring up that comment from Mike just then, Cody? Can you bring that back up?
Yeah. Hang on.
Because that is important. That is a third option. Moat could just play out his final year too, as well.
This is why I wanted to bring it up too, because what are the chances that we actually do this and just let him play out the final year and just take it now?
I think that's what they're going to do more than people think. They're going to let it play out and see what happens next year. That would be the easiest way to handle all the money we push back. Next year, say, okay, here's the offer, or you can walk into free agency. He signs the offer, everything that was pushed back, forgot about, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or he walks out free agency.
I think door number 3, like Mike said, is more likely than. I don't know if they restructure. I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm more for them giving him another contract. But if they give him another contract, he's not going to average $30 million a year. I mean, he's getting more money as a right tackle than Trent Williams is as a left tackle.
How many sacks did he give up last year, though?
Who? Moton don't give up sacks. I mean, Moton is great. Don't get me wrong. I want them to be honest with you. I want them to keep him as long. Yes, I agree. But I'm not as good as Taylor Mouton is. I'm not giving him $30 million plus average a year. I'm sorry. As a right,
what's he getting right now?
In this final contract, he's getting $31 million.
Oh my God!
That's what I'm saying. This coming year, he's going to get $31 million just for the year.
But this is something of a conundrum, man, because I said this on Tuesday, and I've been saying it. I feel like Taylor Mouton played his best football last year.
That's what I'm saying, Cody. You can't fuck up the line now. You've already built the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, too.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with the offensive line. We finally got an offensive line, boys. We've had a decent offensive line in the past, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is the best offensive line we've ever had.
Yeah, I agree.
What if we hit him with the back-to-back franchises?
And by the way, I wanted to.
There's a scheme. There's a scheme to this. Okay, you're not catching what I think they're feeding. If they decide to wait, that means Taylor Mouton went from we were good, we weren't great when he was here. We were good.
I agree.
Then we went to bad. Now, next year, how old will he be? Think about that.
30, 31, 31,
32, something like that.
I don't think he'd be 32.
So he's in his early 30s, so he could still go somewhere. But here's the catch: he should feel okay. We're getting ready to be good. I finally got teammates on this offensive line I can count on. Why? Okay, why would I want to leave?
Right. That's the big point.
Why would? Because
you helped build this shit. I see what you mean.
He may say, "Hey, I'll take a little less to stay here."
Hometown discount. Would love to see it.
You can't see because he's 30 right now. He don't turn 31 until August.
Okay, then. So.
Yeah, he's still got some good years left of him. And
I'm not saying to cut him anything. I'm saying that it's a possibility that they let things see. You know what we've always talked about before? We keep pushing that back. We keep pushing that back. We need to stop. And the best way to do that is let it play out. You keep him where he's at. You let him play under the deal. This time next year, we're having serious contracts negotiations, and it's nothing pushed back. It's redo.
Yeah, pay him then. You don't have to.
It's redo.
I completely agree. Yep, I completely agree with you just did. And I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember when Robert Hunt first met Taylor Mouton? How you could see Taylor Mouton just lit up. Like, hey, I heard about you.
He knew that line was gonna get right with him over there.
Oh man, dude, that I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw that had me so damn hyped. I'm like, damn.
But knew we were gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what. If you see the Panthers re-sign Brady Christensen,
I'm cool with that.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if what David Newton said comes about.
I agree. That's it.
Because as much as people hate David, he'll come out with firecrackers, and sometimes they're true. He was the first one, the very first one
about Cam Newton
to criticize Cam Newton, and say Cam Newton's cap issue may be an issue to be released, and people bid him a new ass over it. And once he was right, nobody wanted to go back and say he was right.
That's true. That is definitely true. But
I'm
that's the only. I've said this multiple times. That is literally the only way Brady Christian is coming back here is if he's a starter.
Yeah, and even then, he may turn that down. Okay, he may turn that down.
Yeah, he might be over us already.
He may be. He may be over. I mean, hey, YGM was over us.
Yep.
Jeremy Chin got over us.
Don't forget Luvu. He was over us.
Luvu said enough.
Yep.
When you go through these bad spells, that happens. Players you may like, we like the city, but we can't deal with that losing.
I agree.
Well, it's not.
It's not. Say it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cole.
I was just going to say it's not just the losing that's the problem with a guy like Taylor Mouton. It's the fact that the Panthers come knocking on his door every single offseason.
Right.
Hey, right. Taylor, the team needs some money. You never missed a game until last year. Can you hook a brother up? Can you help somebody out, man? We need some money, man. Next season comes around, same thing. Here comes the Panthers. Hey, Taylor, we need some money again, man. Come help us out.
That comes back to that kicking the money down the road too, though.
That sounds like that neighbor you got that's always out of everything. You go from the grocery store, you unload your groceries. She walk over and say, "Hey man, I'm out of bread. I'm out of this."
Peanut butter.
Oh, you say, "Well, starve to death."
Wait a minute, Cole. You say I need some butter? You better keep.
You say I'll give you butter.
I need some eggs. I need some eggs. Is what I need.
Yeah, everybody does.
Eggs. Start hustling some eggs.
And at some point, that agent, he's a professional. He's paid by Taylor Mouton good money.
Yeah,
he's going to say, "No, sir, we can't help you no more.
I agree.
We can't do this anymore. You promised to pay us $31 million this season, and we didn't miss a single game until last season, 8 years into my career or whatever it is. And we're going to stand on this, and we're going to write out this contract, and you're going to pay us the money that you owe us." And I think that's what's coming to fruition. But it could be, I tell you, if he does that deal and he takes less money for this season for the Panthers again, definitely needs to put him in the Ring of Honor as soon as he's
I'm getting his jersey.
You talk about a team guy, a guy that loves the freaking Panthers. We already know he's a leader on the team. And like in team meetings, all the respect he gets from everyone in that room. I mean, I'm saying this guy, if he takes another pay cut for the Panthers, for the good of the team, put him in the Ring of Honor as soon as he retires.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Yes,
is Taylor Mouton the best right tackle we've ever had?
I believe so at this point. I feel like he's been the most dependable. He's continued to get better and better. Again, my fandom doesn't go all the way back. Maybe I'll have Pickle or someone has a different opinion. I think Taylor Mouton deserves
Jordan
that.
was on the other side, wasn't he, Cody?
Jordan was left.
Jordan was left. Well, then we good. I got no quarrel then.
But I want y'all to think about that for a minute. Think about who the best Panthers right tackle of all time is. Well, I let all of our viewers know that it's basketball season, baby. And when your favorite sports stars score buckets, we're alley-ooping you to an opportunity to win money watching sports with Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps, and you can play now here in North Carolina or wherever you are, man. Underdog Fantasy operates everywhere now. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats, like points, assists, rebounds, and more. They've got all your favorite leagues, teams, and players to choose from. You can play with as little as $1. If you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So turn $1 into $1,000 with just your knowledge of hoops. Listen, this entire football season, Underdog was so incredibly easy for me to use. The amount of times that I was able to win money going Chuba Hubbard higher every year on those rushing yards, dude, it was the easiest money I think I've ever gotten, dude. Go to Underdog Fantasy, download the app, and sign up now using the promo code C3P to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in the fun when you use promo code C3P. Claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778 New York or text Hope New York. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. We appreciate you all. Now, Pickle, you bring up that Jordan Gross did indeed play a right tackle for a few years before he did move to left tackle.
And then he moved to left tackle. Now, to be clear, Jordan Gross is the leading lineman in Panther history for the most games played while healthy. Okay, because he until he broke his leg, I think it is, in one of the few seasons he was here last. I don't remember which year it was. I can't remember. But he hadn't missed any time from his rookie till then. Okay. But nonetheless, I would say Jordan probably, as far as the the Hall of Fame or the Ring of Fame or whatever you want to call it, for offensive tackle, but for strictly right tackle, Moton's probably not far behind that. Gross was a top 5 pick. Taylor Mouton was a 3rd pick or a 2nd pick.
Second round.
Might as well say he was 1 pick away from the 3rd round. You might as well say the 3rd round. But I understand what you're saying. So
Gross broke his leg in 2009, Pickle.
Damn.
Yeah, okay.
But I agree. Gross clears all our tackles. Period. I 100% agree with that. Gross is number 1, and I think Moton is right below him at number 2. As
I don't think it's anybody close to Moton. That's the crazy part.
Oh yeah, after that, it's way down there.
It's pretty slim, and that's not good.
It's not.
Not in terms of longevity. I mean, you're talking about a guy like Jeff Otah, who went from 2008 to 2011, or a guy like Chris Terry that went from 1999 to 2002, and then maybe Mike Remmers, who had a 2-year stint, 14 to 16. Bro, there's nobody else.
I don't want to hear Mike Remmers, man.
There's literally nobody else.
Hey, listen, Mike Remmers.
He had a great. I know where you're gonna. I'm not trying to cut you off, Pickle, but I know where you're gonna go. He had a great regular season. Don't get me wrong. He definitely had a great regular season, but Von Miller destroyed him. And I know it's Von Miller. Don't get me wrong. I know it's Von Miller.
You take away that one game, and he's not that bad. Mike Remmers, Von Miller scarred Mike Remmers for life.
Oh, he did.
He really did.
He was
if Von Miller found beat up, maybe half dead in the streets of Buffalo somewhere, and Mike Remmers is in town, don't be surprised if you don't find a bloody baseball bat in the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
He did him dirty. He definitely did.
And I don't give look. And I learned my lesson a long time ago. And I'm not giving Mike Remmers all the blame. I still think Ron Rivera had just as much blame as anybody else when it comes to that. My personal opinion. But man, did that man get brutalized in that Super Bowl?
Absolutely worked.
And to be fair, he wasn't the only one. No, and even if he wasn't, and I'm not going to. Some people, and no, I'm not looking at the chat. Some people would criticize and say he's the only reason why we lost. That's bullshit.
No,
I agree.
Even Cam Newton took ownership for that. On his own podcast, coming out of his own mouth. If you ain't heard it, it's because you ain't listening or you don't want to hear it.
Remember when he got that question about his favorite offensive line, like go by name?
Right.
Mike Remmers was his favorite right tackle.
It was one of them. Cam really likes Mike Remmers.
Yeah.
He thinks Mike Remmers is underappreciated. Mike Remmers was underappreciated and underutilized.
Hey man, also real quick before we go any forward, before we go further any more, welcome to Mac007 says just subscribe, glad to join the community. Welcome to the C3 Legion, brother. We are for every single Panthers fan and every Panthers opinion, man. We're happy to have you.
Awesome.
And our Cheshire Cat wanted to ask everyone, what do you guys rank this wall of Carolina? Now, I don't know if he means in terms of other NFL teams, but I really do think that as far as, the other 32 or the 31 other teams, the Panthers at this point on top paper, 10. We have a top 10 offensive line. I mean, is that unreasonable to think that we do? So. I think that we do, especially when you consider running the football and how well we were at doing that. We are always at our best when we're pounding the rock, running the football, and I think that showed this year.
Right, and if last year after we signed Robert Hunt, a bunch of people, national media, fans, especially fans, went off the deep end criticizing the Panthers for overpaying for Robert Hunt. Even Panther fans. People don't talk about that now. Now people are talking about
more.
Yeah, people are talking about that. The former Tennessee offensive guard who will hit free agents after winning several Super Bowls from the Kansas City, should likely get more money than Robert Hunt, and it's very much earned because he's got Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So, and I've said it on rumors. I've said it here. I've said it other places. Don't be afraid to pay your offensive lineman money.
I've heard you multiple times say that.
If you say I don't want to pay my offensive line money because they don't give me touchdowns,
prepare to fail.
Shut the hell up.
It's not even tackles.
You don't know football.
It's your guards. That like people's unappreciated guard for so long. I don't understand. We proved that signing guards matter. What is the worst pressure for a quarterback? It's not coming off the edge. Right up the middle. Yeah. Right. That's the worst kind of pressure for a quarterback.
The best years, and let's not include. I'm gonna hit this before it gets started. Let's not include Bryce's height. When Cam Newton was at his best, he had his best when he had Norwell, Ryan Cleo,
and Trey Turner.
Yep. Inside, and they were healthy all year, and they were
amazing.
Yeah, that's Trey Turner.
No, I mean, and you saw it Bryce's first year too. I mean, like he was getting pressure up the middle constantly.
That's what killed his ass right there, Alex. He didn't have no confidence because of that shit, and he would drop his head and look at the pass rush every time. He didn't have a choice.
That's the main reason why I think he had such a bad start to the season, just past season. He didn't trust it.
It was the same shit.
He did not trust the offensive line whatsoever. No. But once he started trust, I mean, we saw it multiple times on video where he goes to the offensive line. Hey, he said that drive was on y'all offensive line. Keep it up. I mean, he giving them props. Like when I saw that, I'm like, okay, Bryce Young finally trusts this offensive line. He's gonna cook.
I think it was. I honestly think, Jake, too. I think it was a mix of the confidence as far as like the line, but I also think it was a little bit of coaching. I thought they should have played Bryce through the preseason, and they only played him the one game. So I mean, when you go in, I mean, it's especially when you're learning a new system, it takes time. So I mean, I thought it was a crazy thing that Canales sat Bryce Young. Everyone was just like, oh my God. Like, I remember when that happened, people were thinking like, are we going to trade him? Is he gone? And you know what? It all worked itself out. And now look where we're at today. We're like looking to like just keep stacking the chips for Carolina this year.
And Peyton Manning's commented on it. There's nothing worse for a rookie quarterback to go from learning one system his rookie year to learning another system the very next year. That is not what you want to do for a quarterback. It's not good. It's really not good. That's why I'm so glad that we got an offensive minded Pickle. I know you love a defensive minded coach, and I'm with you. But for Bryce Young, it's the best thing that's happened to him. He's got an offensive minded coach that is going to be there for multiple years. That he ain't gonna have to change he ain't gonna have to learn a new system.
And Cheshire with another $5 C3 bomb clarifies: is this wall of Carolina the best in Panthers history? That's what we were saying at the start of this season, or when around the middle of the season, when they really started to roll and all of their pass protection numbers were really high. Yeah, absolutely, man. I do think that this is, if not the one of the best offensive lines in the history of this football team. Absolutely. And thank you to Kyle showing love to my OG Tap Out shirt. Appreciate you, brother, man. But go ahead, y'all. Is this the best line in Panthers history?
I say if they repeat the same thing this previous season, it has to be. I mean, I don't think there is an argument at that point. If they repeat what they did just previous season, you have to say yes. I mean,
yes. I mean, shout out to Joe Gilbert. I mean, I think you saw a lot. Not just the line, like you saw when Austin Corbett was out, Cade Mays looked different.
Yeah.
You saw when guys were out, even Zavala. There's a lot of guys that
everybody got better. That's true.
Everyone got better.
I'm not gonna mention what college you went to though.
Goat shit.
Yeah, shout out to the offensive line coaches. This year we had 3 coaches in the offensive line, and it was very much needed. And shout out to the one coach who is leaving the Panthers and going to be the Jaguars, going to be their head offensive line coach. Good. Shout out to him. They better do him right.
By the way, let me just throw this out there. to any new viewers that we have, this is the free for all. If you would like to join the show, the link is pinned to the top of the YouTube chat room. If you would like to come in and talk, we don't bite. We're all friendly here, just having good Panther discussion. Come in and be a part of the discussion if you would like to. Go ahead, Jay, or whoever was getting ready.
I don't know. Pickle might bite your ass.
Yeah, Pickle might bite.
He might be to shoot the hell up at one point too.
Pickle is mostly harmless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't got enough teeth. I don't have enough teeth to bite too hard.
That's what I'm saying. He's harmless.
Hey, I can find out. Hey, right now, I can find out how good Pickle is. Hey, Pickle, we got some ice cream? Oh,
yeah, give him some. Yeah,
hey, watch out.
I tell you what I got. I tell you what I'm going to fix though in a little bit. I'm going to fix some chocolate, hot chocolate, cinnamon rolls. They got hot chocolate on them with marshmallows on top. Cinnamon rolls. I got them at Walmart.
Man, let me tell you, that's the perfect weather for it too, man.
It's gonna go right to my stomach.
Man.
Yeah. Damn. Now
hey man, I gotta say something.
Man.
I gotta say something to Miss Mother Nature yesterday, man. Girl, listen, whatever I did to you, baby, I'm sorry. Don't hit me like that. I nearly wrecked my car 3 times, my truck 3 times yesterday. I'm going down that gas truck. I about become roasted pickle right there. I'm telling you, I nearly got cooked. That gas truck was running. My truck started to slide a little bit. I was, oh God, move! I was freaked out.
Oh, Pickle about to be in a new final destination. You hate to see it. Hey, you know it's some North Carolina weather. When I got excited for the snow, an hour later it melted. Later it melted. Look, I'm talking about
it didn't stick around. It didn't stick around very long.
The roads look horrible. An hour later, it didn't look like it never even got cut.
Hey,
but also,
Jake, what you need to do, you need to move to Buffalo for one off season.
I'm good on that. I love snow, Pickle. I love snow, but I don't want none of that shit. Don't want nothing to do with that.
When you open your front door, hey, all you see is snow.
Hey, Pickle.
People are saying that 2008 was also in the running.
That's a great offensive line.
Yeah, let me jump in here on that one. So in 2008, we ran for 2,400 yards at 5 yards per carry. We've never done that since. Okay, and as far as pass protection, we only gave up 20 sacks, and that's 5th best in all-time history. Okay,
damn.
That is, let's see, it was Gross's All-Pro season, Khalil's emergence, and Ota's rookie promise made it a top-tier group. So you can argue the Super Bowl years were better if you'd like to, but it's as far as stat-wise with Gross, Wharton, Khalil, Vincent, and Ota, it was the greatest offensive line in Panthers history as far as running football. But look, if like y'all said, if we repeat this outcome next season, I know we gave up 36 sacks this year. If we lower that number, we could be right in that conversation as this is the best offensive line in Panthers history. We could do that with a better running back too, right? Maybe that was what hindered us some this year from not getting there to like a crazy rushing yard amount. And I think one more thing I need to bring up and throw into the conversation on this, and it's important. Look at the development of younger players under this offensive line from last season. Look at a guy like Cade Mays, who we didn't expect much from, to come into that starting role and play as well as he did. A guy that had I think it was 85 or 74 running and pass blocking PFF score. Solid numbers from a guy that we didn't expect a lot from. Remember, we didn't draft Cade Mays that highly, but he came into that starting role quite well. When we were expecting someone that was a veteran, Pro Bowler and Austin Corbett to fill that need. Not only that, but Chandler Zavala. We thought he was a complete bust, giving up over 15 sacks in 2023. But then in 2024, he comes in and he's serviceable as a backup guard. So if you want to throw development into the conversation and say this last year's offensive line was better than 2008, then I'll nod the cap for that one.
Hey, shout out to these. I wanted to repeat real quick. The 2008 offensive line was Jordan Gross at left tackle, first round pick. Yep. Jeff I'm not Ota, but anyway, Ota at right tackle.
He's a first
round pick. Travell Wharton at left guard. 3rd-round pick.
Yep.
All by the Panthers. Ryan Khalil was a 2nd-round pick by the Panthers, and he was one of them guys, like we talked earlier, he was one of them guys that we didn't need a center when we drafted him, but he was the best player available.
Yep.
Plus, a free agent pickup, Kendrick Vinson. We had 3 really good backups. It's Max McKenzie, Jeff Hank Gardner, and Jeremy Bridges. And just saying it was a different offensive scheme set because even our tight end was more of a blocker than a catcher. But nonetheless, the offensive line fit the scheme. And I just had to say that. I had to shout out.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, Cody, but by the way, I sent that link that Pickle posted. I sent directly to you on X. I don't know if that's going to help or not.
All right. Oh yeah, the James Pierce. Okay.
James Pierce, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna bring this up, and then I'm gonna show y'all my draft that I did for DraftTech.com. I feel like I don't say it enough anymore. I'm the Panthers analyst at DraftTech.com. If you guys, if everybody watching wants to check that out,
I seen your draft, Cody.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna show it here. In a little
I
bit.
haven't been there in a while, Cody. I ain't gonna lie.
We're gonna pull it up here in a bit.
Cody
draft. Pickle wanted to share this. He's been sounding the alarm for a while on James Pierce, but now they're reporting that he has some character issues that are having teams contemplate taking him off of their board completely. He's already been given the labels of lazy, a lot of attitude concerns. However, the views are mixed on Pierce. As one NFL GM reportedly believes Pierce is worthy of a top 10 pick and is a clone of Von Miller.
Right, and if you read it, he did have good stats, and one scout points out, and it's the truth. At the combine, and this is where the combine is effective. The interview at the combine is going to be extremely important for this young man. Ooh. That's where it's going to hit. But again, it is smoke screening season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Pickle.
But
that's what I'm getting off of this.
I know. Yeah, and I know by watching him play, there was a lot of plays where he had just, as I said it before, he reminded me a great deal of Brian Burns.
He looked like he just
there
gave
were plays to be made, he just didn't feel like making them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I watched them games with you, Pickle. I mean, you pointed it out. Like, it looked like he was like a deer in the head, like he just stood there. Like, the guy's running down the field, like he gets no.
And you're like, hey,
can't do nothing about it.
I ain't touching that.
Yeah.
There was a guy in the draft a couple years ago, Jalen Carter. I mean, he got arrested 2 months before the draft. And you know what? The Eagles scooped him up, and look it.
And Alex, you know, I said to Tony a couple Tuesdays in a row now, I don't want no more Boy Scouts, bro.
I agree.
Like, I want some dudes that have, you know, maybe gotten into a few fights on the field before, man.
I
need that dog mentality.
Yeah, let's not.
I don't want nice people on defense. I feel you.
Right. Let's not confuse James Pierce from Jalen Carter, and I know you're not meaning that, but I've heard somebody else say that. There's on this. If you read on this post, a lot of people are down there claiming Eagle fans. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what? If he's there with the last pick in the first round, that's their right to draft him. That just means he fell a long way. Now, Jalen Carter still didn't make it out of the top 10. Jalen Carter still did not make it out of the top 10. And Jalen Carter, by every rights and purpose, no matter what people liked or not liked, should have been a Carolina Panther.
Who was it that said, was it Deion Sanders said, I want my offensive lineman to have a perfect family, but I want my defensive lineman to have only a single parent household. Like he made sometimes, I'm not lying. Like I don't know if it was Deion, but it was somebody like that said like a comment like that. And I agree, but my thing, like, you want a mean ass defensive lineman. You want him smash.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I used to say it all the time. When my defensive lineman sacked the quarterback, I wanted him to stand over top of him and laugh at him. I wanted him to enjoy hurting people. I wanted him to be a guy. When you walk down the alley and he was standing there, your ass better run the other way. That's what I want.
Y'all could probably name this defensive tackle for me. I think his last name was Henderson. He was a defensive tackle for Jaguars. There's a famous video.
Oh yeah, he played in Tennessee, didn't he?
I'm not 100%.
One or the other.
He did.
But he told the coach, he's like, slap me. I mean, you just see him just slap the shit up. He's like, I got blood in my mouth, and you just see him like take it off doing a tunnel, like he just pumped. Like I like that. But my thing about it is, you could have a mean defensive lineman. I'm all for that, but there's a level to it. Like if you take that to the locker room, you're toxic to your teammates, where you're like, fuck y'all, I don't want to have nothing to do with y'all. Not going to help y'all. Nothing. That's the level you got to worry about. That type of level you need to stay away from.
Deontay Johnson, Jesus.
But if you're going to be that, if you're going to have the attitude, you're going to channel that to like going after the quarterback. I'm all for that. I have no problems whatsoever with that. And I hope that's what it is. I hope that James Pierce is just like evil on the field. Like channeling that. I'm all for that. But if it's like he takes that to the locker room and he just like bad to the team, like I don't know this dude. I didn't go to high school with this dude. I told Pickle there was a guy, I don't know if it's this article, but there's one of them articles that he swears up and down he went to high school with them, and he said that he was just a horrible person. James Pierce was just horrible. Yeah,
he's a terrible human being, Cody.
I mean, that's all we're hearing about Buddy is that he got some real problems, man.
He's an animal.
Now I tell you what, a guy at work goes to all the Tennessee games, right? I'm gonna tell you what he told me this week about Pierce, because we like to sit down together sometimes and eat, and there wasn't anyway. He told me James Pierce Jr. He says he doesn't sign autographs. He said more than one occasion a young fan would scream and rant and give him something to sign, and James would walk away with it. So finally, security at the Tennessee Stadium started telling fans, don't give him nothing to sign because he'll leave with it.
Jesus.
And he does. He leaves with it, goes to the locker room and throws it in the garbage.
Some hype man.
You give him a jersey to sign, he'll leave with it and throw it in the garbage. That's what he told me. I don't know if that's true. That's what he told me.
Hey, my fault, man. It's Free for Friday. I ain't mean to.
This man said hype, man. I'm nuts.
Streets know what I'm talking about.
We all know what you're talking about, Cole. Holy shit. He owed me a jersey. I'm just kidding.
I'm holding out for that Madden money right now. Shit wild.
Oh, man.
I just know that they're not in the top. Carolina's not in the top 15 in players arrested since 2000.
Hey.
Yeah, but we got the worst one of all time, my friend. We don't need to go down that road.
Listen, I want mean defensive linemen. I don't want them mean enough that in the middle of practice, Charlotte PD comes arrest them. I'm not talking about that mean. I'm not talking about mean enough that you find a wide receiver stuffed in the trunk of a car. I'm not talking about that mean, y'all. I want somebody mean. I don't want them to where the FBI is knocking at their door with the hands out.
I want whoever's heating something up to heat me up.
Yeah, that's cold.
Absolutely.
What you got in that microwave?
Yeah, man, heat that shit up, bro.
Hell yeah. Pizza. Oh, I'm about to make this too.
I'm with the shits, bro.
I'm about to make that French bread pizza. You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah, them pan pizzas. Yeah.
We need something in between, like Ian Thomas when he got his ticket for being on a bicycle, and Greg Hardy. Somewhere in between that.
Oh man.
Somewhere in between that.
I don't want to hear.
I was a big Greg Hardy fan.
I was too. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm just gonna say it. Greg Hardy had issues.
He did. He had
as far as being late and stuff like that. But I believe he was a good Panther player. But Greg Hardy allowed a woman to ruin his career, and I'll say it that way. That's all it was. It was a woman who wanted money. She got her money, and you hadn't seen a bit from her since. All she wanted was that money. To these athletes need to understand, 99% of these women hanging around only want your paycheck, and they're not worth your time and trouble.
And remember, she refused to show up to the court trial.
You got to be right.
I would too, Cody, if someone threw me on a bunch of guns. I probably
that's
would.
It. That's it.
Yeah, guns, right? Why was she even in there? If she was ordered out of the room by 3 other guys, why was she in there?
I don't even know the details.
Wait a minute.
I need you to pay my bills. I need you to pay my bills. Don't give me the bullshit. Don't give me the bullshit.
Pickle's thinking about how phenomenal Greg Hardy was before he got motherfucker raw as hell before he got suspended.
Oh
no, he was.
Hey, if he'd have played the whole season, he'd have got the franchise record for sacks.
Greg Hardy is a monster on the field, but he couldn't fight worth a shit.
No, he sure can't. He got his ass.
He got his
full CTE by then, Jake.
MMA, he got his ass.
He got all CTE. He got knocked the fuck out.
So look, man. Listen, I am the Panthers analyst for DraftTech.com. That's DRAFTE. Or DRAFTTEK.com. And the first player that I selected for us, none other than the big boy Mason Graham, being a destroyer, interrupting everything, infiltrating the backfield, being aggressive. I feel like this is going to be one of the best things that our defense could have right now, with the aggression and the pass rush maneuvers of both him and Derek Brown. This is just what the doctors ordered, man. Now, they're saying his arms are a little bit short for the position, but he has a never-ending motor, and he has incredible leverage, and he's been, as you can see, demonstrates the ability to take on multiple different blockers and be able to shed and get penetration. The dude had incredible pressures while playing at Michigan. I think this dude next to Derek Brown for the foreseeable future, that could be a nightmare duo that we haven't seen the likes of since Starla Tulele and K1 Short.
Yeah, I agree.
What do y'all think about my 8th overall pick?
Hey, look, and Mason, this whole trade back rumors that we've heard multiple times, if that guy is there, if Mason Graham is there at 8, there ain't going to be no trade back scenarios. I'm sorry. That's going to be the pick. It just is. Yep. It has to be. Yep. That dude is an absolute monster. I don't want to hear nothing about his short arms because, like, we're watching film right now. He's going up against offensive centers, left, right guards that have longer arms, and I mean, the dude is bully balling them. So I have no issues with his shorter arms. Supposedly, he would be an absolute unit next to Derek Brown. And like I said, I don't foresee him making it to the 8th pick. But if he's there, you have to make it. You have to run up there. You have to.
I looked this up today and I tried to explain it some. The concept that folks have is that we have to take a big nose tackle. We do not. And I will point this out. Go look at the Denver Broncos nose tackle. He's less than 310 pounds. The Steelers and the Seahawks, all of them run 3-4 defenses that do not require a nose tackle. No, the large nose tackles are like brute force. But in this versions of a 3-4, it's more about speed and agility to provide a pass rush. Okay? Now, you don't believe me? That's fine. Have your own way. But go look it up, and then come back to me and call me a liar. Go look it up and then come back and call me a liar. Don't just off-wall ignore it because it's Panther Pickle running his lip. Look it up and then come back here and call me a liar. There's 3 teams. Look it up and tell me why their defensive lines are successful and they don't have a nose tackle. I'm tired of hearing the excuses that the only way this team gets better is you sign a big guy in the middle. Does it help? Absolutely. But to do that, Ivero has to change his entire scheme into something I seriously doubt he knows what he's doing anyway. Right? So give him, and besides all that, if you draft a big guy, let me tell you, you draft Mason right here, And next year, when Evero's gone, Robinson can just walk into free agency, and we still got the 2 best tackles in the league.
Yeah. Lots of different options, lots of different ways that you can go. A lot of people are worried about drafting a defensive player just to have them learn under Jero Evero. And I get that too, man. The dude does not inspire any confidence right now.
Oh.
But at pick 57, via a trade, I was able to secure Jack Sawyer, edge, Ohio State. Jack Sawyer is another guy who's been getting a lot of love throughout this process, man.
That is a monster.
Yeah, the dude's a monster. He plays at a position of need for us. We need to get better on the edge. What all do you think of Jack Sawyer from what you know about him?
If he makes it to 57, I'm doing cartwheels, Cody, and I don't even know if I can do a cartwheel. I'm just being honest with you.
Wherever he goes, Cody, he'll be an impact player already off the rip as a rookie.
And the main reason why I like Jack Sawyer, Cody, and everybody else is he got better in the bowl games. Like, he got better, like, not regular season. He got better when it really mattered.
The moment got bigger, he raised his game. He's the best player
better
on the field, arguably, in the national championship.
We went with some more defense with our 74th pick. We went Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina, 6'1", 250 pounds. The dude is a thumper. He's really good against the run. He's a value pick at this position, and we're able to upgrade that linebacker position like we've been needing to do for so long.
I mean, right now, this is out of the ballpark type draft. I mean, I'm all for that. Anytime you can get a linebacker as good as he, I mean, he has the stats to prove it. He has the film to prove it. He's a great pick in the 3rd round.
Yeah, he does. And by the way, again, drafttech.com. I was basically just going best player available. We're going to get an outside linebacker out of this. Chris Paul Jr. Out of Ole Miss. What do you say, Cole?
That's actually a really good pick. I like him.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, I've seen the name before, too, about this area. If he's there, take him. No problem with that.
Now, another name that I know that a lot of people are really, really high on, and he was a value pick that he was still available. Gunnar Helm, another tight end from Texas, to pair with Jatavion Sanders, 6'5", 250. That could be a nice little 1-2 punch from Texas at the tight end position for Bryce Young to have at his disposal for the foreseeable future.
Can't go wrong with that either. I mean, he's got production. I mean, we need to add to that tight end room. I mean, right now, we only got Jatavion Sanders on a contract right now as our tight end. Everybody else, they're gone. Yeah. Lathan Ransom, too? Oh, my God.
Lathan Ransom from Ohio State.
Really
yeah, man. Again, y'all check out my stuff. This is drafttech.com. And pretty soon, 1st and 2nd round is going to have comments connected to it. So I'll justify the pick as I'm making them. But Lathan Ransom, safety out of Ohio State. We have no safeties on the roster going into 2025. We're definitely going to have to amend the safety position. This is a step towards doing just that. We also at 147 pick up Jason Marshall Jr., cornerback from Florida, 6 foot, 200 pounds. Not necessarily the biggest or the fastest, but a good value at that position, at that place. And then I believe this is the last one. We finish it up with Ole Miss wide receiver Antoine Wells. We really you're taking a gamble at this point in the draft anyway. So
it's late.
Why not grab a wide receiver with a decent skill set? Yeah.
Especially if he can return. If he can be a returner, I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
You play with Jackson Dart, he must be good.
Yeah. But that's my draft, boys.
Hey, that was a great draft to me. Great. Me personally, I would give that draft a solid A. I would legit give that a solid A draft.
Yeah, and I'll run through some of them too here just to give the site some love.
Straight up starters everywhere, Cody. Good shit.
Yeah, man. I really wanted to really land the defensive heavy draft in hopes that maybe we did something in the offseason in free agency at wide receiver, maybe make a trade. Who knows? But everybody knows that we need a defense. So that's what the doctor ordered, and that's what I delivered.
With that draft, though, Cody, I got to ask you, is that more so you going by you think the Panthers are going to make a move for a wide receiver, or do you think that's more so that you believe in the development of Xavier Legette and Coker more so?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I do think they intend to make a splash, like we were talking about earlier. I don't know what position that is, if it's wide receiver or maybe defensive end, maybe it's a corner, but I think the wide receiver is probably the most likely. I have heard numerous rumors now that they do want to continue to upgrade that room for Bryce, and why not? I mean, numerous times we've seen what happens when you add a legit number one to an offense that's ready to catch fire. So, yeah, I did sort of write this with the idea that the Panthers took care of some of their offensive needs here in the offseason.
All right, I'm all for it.
Yeah, man. Where do we have? Jack?
Did you see that Tyler Warren to the Saints? No,
Yeah,
Cody, no Tyler Warren to the Saints. That guy's 6'6", 261 pounds, Jake. When he blocks, he's out eating stacks of pancakes.
Yeah, I saw this.
And not only that, he's a threat from the backfield, bro. He can run as an H-back out of the backfield. We do not want him on the Saints. That is not allowed.
I know.
For those of you who don't know what draft tag does, every analyst or every team has their own analyst. So I don't know who we have on who writes for the Saints, but yeah, that's a damn good pick for them, dude. That's another bigger version of Taysom Hill.
But you know what? And I don't. No. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I trust these guys and what they say because I really haven't watched him play a lot. But I'm going to be real about it. I was told to be scared when the Falcons drafted their tight end.
That's
true. A few years ago.
Yeah.
And I haven't been scared of him yet. Haven't seen nothing to make me be scared of him.
This is a glorified wide receiver, Pickle. This guy right here actually plays tight end.
He can block. He can be a receiver.
You know what? How do we don't know this ain't the pick?
That's what I'm saying. Look, I know.
I got into a heated discussion the other day.
Hey, I'd do it. I damn sure would do it.
Cody, you know it. Tony, yeah. Tony don't like no tight ends getting drafted.
No, I don't either. But I don't either. But I'm old school, and I understand that about me. I'm old school, and I understand that. But as I said before, I got my glasses on. I don't like to do that. But
there ain't no wrong with them. Put them things back on.
No, I had to read the recipe book, and I had to get my old man glasses out when I read something. So. The reason why I don't need to wear them on my computer because I got the zoom button to blow that shit up, so I don't have to use it. Anyway, that's how you do that shit. You blow that shit up on them settings. Anyway, but I'm old school, but I'm also understanding that if we draft a tight end at 8, like I'm not going to scream and yell about it. Right. Yeah, I may spend a day and say, I don't really like this. It's but I'm not going to get massively upset about it.
Yeah.
Because there's number one, no matter how much I scream and yell, it ain't going to help. And number two, if I can't look at you guys and tell you I trust Dan and Dave to make the right decisions and then criticize them about every pick they make.
I agree with that.
So I'm just going to be happy with what they do. I do have my opinions, and I doubt very seriously anybody in the Panthers even know I exist in life, but I'm still going to have my opinion.
Yeah, they do, Pickle. Yeah, everyone knows that the favorite viewing content of the Carolina Panthers is the C3 Panthers Podcast, baby.
That's probably
They listen to me.
Right,
they listen to Tony. They listen to Pickle. They listen to Jake. Who doesn't listen to the brand ambassador?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're not listening to C3, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
It sounds like to me you're saying if you don't listen to C3, you don't know shit. So shut the hell up.
Shut the hell up if you don't listen to the C3 Legion, baby. Jay.
But Pickle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, you said it too. I mean, we've all seen it. We broke down film last year. How many times did we see Jatavian Sanders get open and the ball didn't get thrown to him? And,
exactly. And yes,
that
was my point, Jake.
Yeah,
that was my point about arguing about it wasn't the player that I was against. And some people got that confused.
Yeah.
It wasn't the player. It was, so far, it don't look like Dave likes to use tight ends or Bryce likes to throw to him for whatever reason.
Facts.
That
Sanders would run wide open.
And
he wouldn't even get the ball thrown even in his way. And what most of the time Bryce didn't throw an incompletion. It was still a good pass to a different guy. But I can't tell you how many times Sanders went wide open.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, why waste the 8th round pick on a blocking tight end who never gonna get a chance to catch a ball?
I that's what I'm saying. I get that, and I'm right there with you because I mean it actually frustrated me so many times that we broke down a film and we watched Jatavian Sanders he'd be wide ass open and he would be like the fourth read. I'm like I understand Bryce Young, you know, he has the guys that he goes through his progression. I understand that.
Right.
But like I also had, you know, we all gotta understand. I had to understand too that, you know, Dave Canales was a rookie head coach. I mean, he just is. And I hope that, you know, because as we watched it, we did see Dave Canales like learn. He kind of learned as he went later down the year that he learned more. And I just hope that he opens that playbook, adds more plays to it, to where that he gets his tight end involved. And if he gets his tight end more involved, then that pick, it would not be a bad pick. Tyler Warren is the best tight end I've ever seen that I've actually watched film on in so long. Like, I'm not gonna say like he's a guarantee. He's gonna be he's gonna have Pro Bowl season, Hall of Fame. You just don't know. When it comes to draft, you just don't. I don't care how much talent they show on film in college. You just really don't know. But he legit blows me away when I'm watching his film. Like, he's amazing. He really is.
And you know, you're right. Last year was the first year Dave Canales was head coach.
Yeah.
It was also the second year he's ever called plays.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he was only an offensive coordinator for 1 year. Even when he was in Seattle, he didn't call plays, and he wasn't an offensive coordinator. He was a passing game coordinator, and he didn't call plays. So if you go back, his year with the Bucs was the only year he was ever a head coach or offensive coordinator. He comes here the only year he's ever been a head coach. You know, you take his offensive coordinator, had never been an offensive coordinator before. He had only been a wide receivers coach. You take his passing game coordinator that he let walk away this year, had never been an offensive coordinator, never been a passing game coordinator. You're talking about a lot of green there in Carolina, and we as fans need to understand things are going to change as they learn, as the coaches and the GM and the staff, they all learn what they're doing, because that's exactly what it's all is right now. The shameful part about it, the one guy with most of the experience is Brandon Tillis, and he was just a third wheel on a multiple Super Bowl winning team.
We can't let guys like Cade Ottman, you know, at the tight end position for the Buccaneers under Dave Canales get more yards than JT Sanders. And you're right. These guys are going to grow. They're going to learn. They're going to run their offense better. Bryce Young is going to have more than 2.7 seconds going forward because our offensive line is only going to get better with the continuity. And that's the one thing that we need to correct. We need to make the tight end a bigger piece of this offense going forward. Cade Ottman will never be better than JT Sanders. I'm going to tell you that right now as far as talent. JT's got to get more involved in this offense, and Bryce Young and Dave Canales are going to figure it out this second season together. I really do believe that. We'll see these guys perform better. But as far as the Panthers taking Tyler Warren, we probably don't need to at number 8. You know what I mean? If we traded back to 13, probably a better deal. But I don't know how any of that happens, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. And I also agree with JD here. Bryce seemed to find Tommy Tremble a lot, especially towards the back half of the season. And I do think that Bryce really did benefit from those tight ends that were able to help him a lot. down the stretch. I do think Ja'Tavion Sanders is going to be a big weapon for Carolina for the foreseeable future, man. That's probably the player that I'm most excited about his future. Right. Like we already know what we have in Chuba. Chuba's the man.
Right.
Shout out to Jake wearing the Chuba jersey.
I had to get it, bro.
I had to. That's a worthy purchase right there. Yeah. But going forward, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hate to compare them against each other like this, especially since XL kind of had a rough way to end the season with the drops and stuff. But I really do feel a little bit more hopeful and excited about Sanders than I necessarily do about XL right now. And that's not a knock on XL, more on how highly I do regard Ja'Tavion Sanders and what he has the potential to be.
He was my number 2 tight end.
And you know, I here's what it was suggested to me. And I never thought about it, so I went back to watched a little bit of film, not much. And I thought about that may be a reason. So y'all tell me what you think. Could it be how sometimes in each game it varies how Bryce is told? Traditionally, people have this concept that XL or okay, whatever, receiver 1 is 1, and or let me just say, XL was 1, Adam was 2, Moore was 3, whatever. And by the time you got to Sanders, maybe he was 4th, and getting the ball out 2.7 seconds, Bryce didn't have time to go to that 4th read all that often. Now, could that be happening? Yes, that could be. I'll be fair. If for whatever reason they were happy with Bryce getting the ball out quicker, and even though he got it out to the open guy, he didn't get time to get to that 4th read, that could happen. But I don't want to believe that's all that's happened. And I still believe, and nobody gonna convince me this otherwise, no matter what the coaches tell me. I believe somebody down in that staff, Bryce force-fed the ball to XL far too much.
I agree.
And there's nobody going to tell me he didn't, because he did.
I mean, we watched the film. We watched the film.
Yeah, there was times other people were open, and now whether Bryce has somebody in his ear telling him to throw it to XL, it could happen. It's happened before in life, but we don't know that.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, boys, we're probably going to draw this free-for-all to a bit of a close, man. I appreciate each and every single one of you always choosing to spend your Friday evenings here with us talking Panther football. Y'all might not hear from me for a while because tomorrow is my 35th birthday, and I intend on not remembering the next couple days. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you be careful, dude. Birthday.
I was 35 once a long time ago.
Happy early birthday, Cody.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I'll tell you tomorrow, too, but I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. I'm going to jump on the weekend. But I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate the ability to be able to come up and do this every Friday with the best damn Panther fans in all of YouTube. We'll go ahead and get people's final thoughts and opinions for the show today. Cole, appreciate you, brother. Another free-for-all in the books. Give me your final thoughts.
Your free-for-all is another week older, my friend. Like I said, I hope you have a good birthday, man. I just appreciate all the listeners tuning in to us, not only today, but every Friday, man. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Absolutely. Next up, my man, Jake. Jake, you know I appreciate you always, brother.
Man, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man, you already know. Give me your final thoughts and final words for the show tonight, man.
I trust Dan Morgan, y'all. I trust Dave Canals, and I've learned to trust Bryce Young, y'all. I mean, I'm not going to be, I'm not going to not admit that I wasn't sold on Bryce Young. I had my doubts plenty of times. People could pull up the receipts, like they like to say, receipts that go after them. But I'm glad that we have a future right now that we're looking at. We have a great potentially GM making great decisions. We have a future at quarterback. We have a future at, head coach. And right now, the future is bright for the Carolina Panthers, and I'm all here for it. And as always, y'all, keep pounding. I love y'all.
Keep pounding. Love you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Panther Pickle, another free-for-all in the books. I hope Mother Nature treats you nicely when you're commuting to and from. Stay on the road, brother. Let's not get off of it. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you as always, man. Give me your final words for the free-for-all.
Yo, quick advice. There's a post on Twitter that the Panthers have re-signed tight end Ian Thomas by the Cat Shack. That is fake. It was a joke. He's trying to tell people that. There are still people falling for it. That is a joke. It is fake. Do not believe it. Now, that being said, if the Panthers do re-sign Ian Thomas, we need to burn that shit to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, we might sign him. We might sign him back for a Bowberry biscuit, Pickle.
I might get arrested.
That'd be too much. That'd be too much.
That'd
be too much.
I'm gonna be throwing his shit in his locker room out on Mint Street.
Cold bow rounds.
We need to withdraw some Bowberry biscuits.
Yeah, man.
All
right, man. Last but never least.
Wait a minute. Can Ian Thomas play left tackle? He's probably big enough.
Maybe.
Nah, I trust Icky, even though I don't like the college he went to.
Jacob, don't get strangled right here at the end of the show.
Hey, belt to ass in college basketball. Belt to ass.
Last but not least.
Can he kick the ball? Can he kick the ball? Can he kick?
Yeah, replace Eddie Pinero. Replace somebody.
Oh my God!
Make yourself useful.
I'm surprised we didn't mention Eddie P tonight.
I know, man.
About no damn Eddie P.
Eddie P on his way out anyway.
Yeah, we didn't even need to waste the time. But hey, man. Last but not least, the brand ambassador has to have the final words. Diz, we appreciate you, brother. Another free for all in the books. Give me your final thoughts, and we're gonna call it a show, brother.
Yeah. So one more thing that we didn't get to, that we didn't touch on, will be my final thoughts, right? Because we took the week off last week in observation of of St. Valentine's Day. We didn't get to discuss on the free for all the words that Cam Newton had for Steve Smith. And earlier we talked about the Hall of Fame, and we talked about how we felt like Luke Kuechly should have been first ballot, and we talked about how he should be in the Hall of Fame. And we've talked before about how Steve Smith, we felt the same way. We just didn't feel like Steve was going to get there as soon. And I just wanted to say and voice my opinion, my Panthers opinion, because that's what this show is for. You're all welcome to do the same thing. I didn't think it was very nice of Cam Newton to say that a future Hall of Famer that played the large majority of his career here in Carolina was a loser. And I don't think that shows good leadership. I don't think that motivates other people. And I understand he's not trying to motivate other people. And on that same term and that same token, okay, I want to say that podcasters say things that are controversial.
Yes.
And Lord knows, even the great Cody Lack may say something controversial every once in a while.
He would never do that.
Dude, come on, bro. I would never do something like that, dude.
But, tomorrow I'm doing a space, and I'm going to let you the inside secret on the rift between Cody Lack and Tom and Tony. Don't tell him.
Oh, shit. You are You're spilling insider trade secrets, damn it. You can't do that, Pickle.
Only available
you gotta watch
on a
Pickle
special edition of the Space tomorrow, brought to you by C3 Legion.
I'm going to have to send y'all a cease and desist or something. I don't know if I can let this happen anymore, man. But, hey, look, this has been another edition of the C3 Friday Free For All, the show for Panthers fans, by Panthers fans. Hey, my name is Cody Lashley. We will be back this Tuesday for another edition of the C3 Panthers Podcast. C3 Legion, much love. Have a very happy, safe, healthy weekend. C3 Legion, keep pounding.
Keep